today we are going to talk about Google's latest next generation IDE, which is called as Google Antigravity. So yes, guys, this is an IDE and like a vibe coder which you can use to code anything with the help of AI enablement. It has got all the large language models embedded in it, and you can use them to make your coding practices much more faster, much more efficient. Today we will see how you can get the Google Antigravity on your machine and also how you can use it effectively and in the best possible way. So let's get started. First of all, guys, how do you get it on your machine? Obviously, you can use this website, antigravity.google. Click on the download button right here, guys. You will see all the options to download it in macOS, Windows, and Linux. And for me, I downloaded it for Windows, guys. Once you download, you can use ARM64 or x64, but once you click on download, you will get an exe which looks like this. All you have to do is double click it and it will start installing Google Antigravity on your machine. Okay, so once you have the application on your machine, you can just open it and it looks a little bit like this. Now you can see here that the user interface is exactly like that of VS Code, and that is what I think Google was going for. VS Code is lightweight and it gives you all the needed functionality, and it's pretty efficient. People are used to it, so why not? I think the UI looks absolutely great. But the first thing that you have to do when you open this app is to log in with your Google account. So guys, in my case, I am already logged in, but when you are going to open this application, you will get a prompt to actually log in with your Google account. And once you log in, you are going to see with your profile picture right here that you are logged in. Okay. Why do we need login, right? I mean, obviously we don't use ID and we don't really log in into it, but with Google Antigravity, you need login, guys, because if you see on this agent window right here, you have got all these models listed. Now, all these AI models are actually linked to your Google account because you are accessing those models on a certain rate limit. And if you have an account which is a paid account, then you can have a Google AI plan to receive higher rate limits. So you won't be restricted to code anything, and you can use the AI agent for as much time as you want, for as many prompts as you want, if you are on a paid plan. But if you are on a free plan, you will have certain rate limits which will get reset after 24 hours. So you may have to continue your coding the next day. And that is why your Google account login is very, very important when you open your Antigravity app. Okay. Now that the account and the pricing is done, let's check out Antigravity. So there are certain options that you have here. You can open a existing folder on your machine. You can clone a repository, which is pretty basic, but then you also have an open agent manager option. And that option I'm going to explore later. In the end, you do have your existing projects. So these are the workspaces that I have created or the projects I have created. Let's click on open folder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a Antigravity project, which is basically an empty folder for me. And you can see that here it is, it's open and there is no file in it currently, and we are going to start creating a file. Okay, now you can see the agent, sometimes it's a little bit slow and the agent is loading, but we have got multiple options to actually interact with the AI agent. You can switch to an agent manager, you can code with an agent, you can edit the code inline, and these are multiple options. So this agent is a bit slow. Let it load. Okay, guys, so you can see now my agent is loaded and you can ask this agent anything. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually take this middle option, code with agent. That is a shortcut, Control plus L. So even if I close this window, guys, if I do Control L, it is going to open the agent again for me. Let's say I want to do a hello world, right? So create a hello world Python file. Okay, so that is my prompt, that create a hello world Python file. You can see that it has started to think and it has analyzed that there is no file in my project. So obviously it has to create a file. So what it's going to do is it's going to create a hello world.py. You can see that it created it. But this file code is still not yet committed, guys. I have to click on accept here to actually accept the code. And now this file is actually having this code print hello world. Now, if you look into the agent window, there is a run command here. So what's happening is that Google has also figured out what is the terminal command to actually run this file, and that is python hello world.py. So this is how you can run this file, right, on your terminal. If I accept this, you can see that it's going to actually run this on a terminal and it's going to print the output for me. What I could have done is I could have just run this terminal command first, check out the output, and then I could have accepted the changes. And that's usually you should do, right? So there are other ways to actually do this terminal command. So you can see that in my case, I just have a very basic file, right? Like hello world.py. So I don't really need to execute it on my terminal to verify the output. I pretty much know the output. So what you can do is that for these terminal commands, you can click on always proceed. Always proceed mean is that if AI wants to execute your file on a terminal, it will always be able to do so without asking your permission. So let's say now if I want to edit the code. So add a function to sum two numbers. Okay. So let's say this is my addition to the current file. You can see that it is going to create that function and it will also execute my python hello world.py, but this time it is not going to ask my permission. It's just going to do on its own. Okay. So you can see that it is currently still generating, and what it was generating was it was generating the output for my terminal. It executed the python hello world.py without asking my permission. It gave me the output, and it pretty much matches fine. I like the output, so I can just click on accept. Now you can also see I've got multiple coding blocks added, so I can just click on accept all changes right in the bottom, and all my changes are accepted. Okay. So this is the option to actually execute your code in the terminal. You can ask it to review always, or you can always proceed. So usually if you have a complex code that can lead to an infinite loop or some really heavy operation, you should not execute it on the terminal. You should click on request review so the AI doesn't always keep on executing your code. Okay. And obviously guys, there are multiple options to choose the model that I already showed you, but there is also an option to have a fast agent which is going to execute the task directly, or you can have a planning agent which is for much more complex tasks because it's going to think about the task first. It's going to give you some back and forth question answers, and then it's going to generate the code for you. So unless you have a very complex operation, I would say to stick to the fast. Okay. Now, this is one way to actually update your code, but there are other ways to update your code as well. And one way is the inline instruction. So if you just have a shortcut called as Control I, it is going to open the AI prompt window right on your coding screen. And let's say I want to print also welcome, right? So along with hello world, I also want to print welcome. So I have just added this. I have just added this coding block right here on my coding screen, and I can just control enter, and it is going to print welcome for me. So you can see that now this coding line is added on my Python script. So again, two things that you can do: you can code with the agent on your right hand side, or you can press Control I and it can edit the code on your Python file itself. Okay. But what if you forget these shortcuts? What's going to happen then? Let's say I close this agent window. What's going to happen then? Now, how do you remember? So the best way to remember these shortcuts is to click on this anti-gravity settings button, which is right on the bottom right corner. Here you will see AI shortcuts. So it gives you the shortcuts here. Open command, Control I, which is the command in line, and open agent is Control L. So now if I do Control L, my agent will open, right? So it gives you the shortcuts. And also if you want to have all the shortcuts, you can click on view all shortcuts, and here you can see all the shortcuts are visible. More things about the anti-gravity settings is that you can actually go to the settings, and you can you have got multiple options like fix lint. So automatically the lints are fixed by the AI agent by anti-gravity, but you can turn it off if you don't want to. And auto execution is always proceed, and the review policy is request review, right? So obviously I don't want any code to be added on its own, so I have got the request review there, and I've got the auto execution, which is the terminal execution as always proceed. Okay. Furthermore, customizations can be done by this manage customizations, which we don't have to go through right now, you can look into it on your own time. Okay, and let's get back to the agent. But are these the only two ways to actually edit or update your file? No, there is a third way, and that's called as Open Agent Manager. Now, if you are a project manager, if you're not a software developer, you don't even want to see the code, right? You just get nightmares while looking at the code. I think the Open Agent Manager is a better option for you because it lets you edit your code without even looking at the code, right? And you can see here that it looks exactly like Chat GPT. On the left hand side, you have got your workspaces, which is nothing but your projects that you have worked on. Then you also have your playground. So if there was any recent chats that you have done with this agent manager, you can see those as well, right? And I would recommend the agent manager to be actually used for updating or editing your already created workspaces. So let's say I select my anti-gravity project as a. So once we have selected your workspace here, for example, I have selected your anti-gravity, you can ask the AI to do anything with this project. And let's say I ask it that create a calculator functionality, right? So basically in my anti-gravity project, I want to create a full to calculator functionality which allows me to do subtraction, multiplication, a whole different sort of operations. You can see that it immediately started looking into my already created files, for example, helloworld.py. And now it is going to create a different file which is called as calculator.py, which will have all that functionality. You can say that it is already working on it, and it is also writing the code in front of me, and it has also, you can see that it has tried out the calculator.py and it got the correct output as well. So it has executed it in the terminal, and there is a demo output which is right here. Now you can see that to do this, it actually created a calculator.py and it explained to me that how that works. Now, if I go back to my anti-gravity project right here, you can see that the file calculator.py is created, but the code is still not accepted yet. So I have to click on accept changes to actually accept the code. However, you can see that the entire code was actually tested in my agent manager right here, and I can see that this is how it actually looks. So isn't that great, guys? I have shown you 3 different ways to use AI to actually edit your code, update your code, and even write exactly new scratch code using anti-gravity and AI models. So I hope you guys like this video, guys, and I hope you learned something from it. If you do try this tool at home, guys, please do not forget to write in the comment section how did you find anti-gravity. And also, guys, if you like this video, please do not forget to like this video and share this video with your friends. If you have any questions, comments, feedback for me, that also you can write in the comment section below. But in the end, guys, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for future notifications of more such AI updates and software programming videos. I'll see you guys in the next video, guys. Until then, take care and bye bye.